Hi, in this session we'll learn about how to use a filter function in Excel. Now what is a filter function? Filter function is a new dynamic array functions which can return an array of value based on one or more criteria. So that means we've seen in Excel whenever you write any function it always returns a single value. But here we have a dynamic array functions. That's the new type of functions in Excel where based on a particular when you write any function it can return a multiple values, which can be multiple rows of values, multiple columns, or it can be a matrix data, both rows and columns together. Now with the help of the filter function, what I can do, can return multiple values for the lookup. So I generally keep getting this particular questions when I'm teaching the X lookup and V lookup. What if multiple records satisfies the lookup value? So it always returns the first value in the case of a lookup function. But with the help of the filter, I can return all those particular records which satisfies the lookup conditions. Yes, I can show you. I'll show you with the example. You can apply the filter without refreshing. That means whenever you use this particular filter functions and when you just change the filter, so the whole sheet of data doesn't get refreshed. Okay, that is one more advantage. And also we can use this filter function inside another functions. So you want to get some aggregated values based on the filter functions. Yes, we can do that. So in this session, we'll look into all these things. Okay, so we'll see how do we filter based on the single conditions, how do we filter based on multiple conditions. Also, we'll see how do we use this particular filter function inside another aggregate functions. Okay, so let us get into practical here. Now to see here, so we have this particular what you say the employees data. So first let us have a look into this data. So I just have an employee data where I have an employee ID, first name, last name, gender, department, which department the employee works for, the kind of experience in years, what is the salary they are earning, and what is the ratings they have. I just have some good amount of data here. So now what I want is I just want to apply the filter. So apply the filter in the sense I just want to get the data based on certain criteria, based on certain conditions. Now let us take an example. From this particular data, I just want to see only the employees who is working for finance department. Okay, or yeah, so based on the finance department. So if I had to do this, generally we use this particular filter and we filter it and then it hides the data. So generally what we do is we use this kind of a filter where the department is matching to say finance. We need to go do it over here and we get it. So in this case what happens, the other columns are hidden and this only this column has been shown. So I don't want this kind of a thing, but at the same time I just want to see only the employees working for finance department. So now let us see how do we do that. So for doing that, so I've just created this field as say department where I have just selected this department as finance. So that means I want to see all the records which is matching to this particular department which is named as finance. Okay, so from this particular data, and this particular table I've created this as a table and I've given the name for this particular table as I have given the name as what EMP is the name that I have given for this particular table. Now let us see how do we apply this filter. So we say is equal to filter. So to write the filter function, it's very easy. We just write this particular as a filter and it takes only two mandatory parameter. The first is the array, that is the data on which you're working. So I want to work on this particular table, so this becomes my array. The second is include based on the criteria, based on what criteria you want to include the data. Okay, so we'll just see it practically. So first the name of this table is what? EMP. I'll just select this. The first parameter is I want to fetch the data from the employee table. Second parameter, when I say comma, so you are going to the next parameter. The next parameter is you want to include. You want to include based on what criteria? So I want to include based on this particular criteria, gender. That means in the EMP table, the department column should be matching to. So to match what we do, we say equal to sign and I say look for the finance, employees working for the finance department. Enter. And you can see, yeah, we have those three employees who's working for finance department. So this is the data, this is the employees who's working for finance. Now I say, hey, I want to see the employees working for the retail department. I just change here and you can see this is showing all the employees working for the retail department. If I say healthcare, yes, it shows the employees working for the healthcare. So yeah, if I say all, it shows the employees who's working for a department called as all. Okay, so this is how we use this particular filter function where I can get the data multiple values, both in the horizontally as well as vertically. That is, we say array of values based on the criteria. Okay. Now, let us see another example where I want to filter based on some logical condition. Now, let us take an example. I want to see the employees who has more than 5 years of experience. Now, from this particular list of employees, I just want to list only those employees who has more than 5 years of experience. So in that case, what will I do? I'll just say is equal to filter is a function. I'm filtering on what? On the EMP table. I'll just select this table, EMP, comma. Now, what is the filter include on? I need to include based on the what is say experience, and I have to use a relational operator. So what will I do is I'll just say from the EMP table, that is, I'll just take the experience column. That is, from the EMP table, I'm taking the experience column, and I want the employees who has 5 and more than 5 years of experience. So what I do, I'll just say greater than or equal to this value. Okay, and enter. This will show me all the employees who has more than 5 years of experience. Okay, so we are able to get the data something in this way. So now I want to get the headings for this. So we can just write it like this. Generally, when you write a functions, we don't get the headings. You want to include the headings, we write it something like this. So we just say is equal to the table name, and then we can just open the bracket. I just say table name, open the square bracket, and just say hash headers. So this will just get me all the headers in this. Okay, fine. Now, next thing is, we'll also see how do we filter based on multiple criteria. I want to see the employees. Okay, only the female employees working in the retail department. So that means I want to filter based on 2 criteria. So in this case, what is that we do? I'll just use the same thing. I'll just say filter. Okay, I'm filtering on this particular table says EMP, comma. Now I want to include based on 2 criteria. So what I do, I'll just open the bracket and I'll say the first criteria. From the EMP table, I'll just take the department, and I say department should be matching to what value? Say retail. Close the bracket. And I want to go to this again, another condition. I'll put a star, and I'll just open a bracket and say EMP. From the EMP table, I'm just taking what is a gender column, and I'll just say is equal to gender should be matching to this. Okay, fine. That's it. I'll just press enter key. So you can see this is showing the employees who satisfies with both the criteria here. So that means it shows the records where the gender is matching to F and the department is matching to retail. If I change this, instead of retail, if I say finance, female employees in the finance department. If I say this as male, so male employees in the finance department. Okay, this is how we can apply this particular filter based on multiple criteria, because we have only one include. So if you want to go with multiple criteria, we use the asterisk for representing the and. So we use a asterisk symbol for representing the and is like, we are given 2 conditions. So with that, it shows me the record which satisfies both the criteria. Okay, and we use the plus sign for the or. Okay, if you want to filter the record which satisfies any one of the criteria, we can use a plus instead of the star there. Okay, now next thing is, let us see how do we use this particular filter function inside an aggregate functions. Now let us take an example. I just want to know how many employees are there in the retail department. Okay, how many employees are there in the retail department? I just want to know this. So let me just go with this and say this is retail department. So how do we get only the, say I just want to get the names of the employees. So I'll just use a filter. And if I just say EMP, this is going to get me the complete data, but I just want to get only the names. I'll just open the bracket and I'll just take the first name. Okay, but again, what is the criteria here? I say criteria is from the EMP table, take the department column, and the department column should be matching to retail. So what this will do, this will show me all the names of the employees who is working in the retail department. If I say finance, it shows for the finance. But what I wanted is, I wanted an aggregated value. I just want to get a head count of how many employees are there in the retail department. So what I do, I'll just put this inside a count function. And since you're counting an alphanumeric value, we use a count A function, open the bracket, and I'll just close this inside that. Yeah. So I'm writing this particular filter function inside a count A. So this is actually getting all the employees working in the retail department. That is the name of the employees, but I just want to count the number of employees there. Okay, now if I just change it to say finance, it says we have 3 employees in finance. When I say retail, it is 7 employees. When I say healthcare, we have 4 employees working for healthcare department. Yeah, these are some of the basic features of the filter functions. Thank you.